Hello everyone, this is a video for the third Microsoft Word task. In this video I will be explaining a couple of skills that you will be using to solve this specific task. For today we will be learning about table and table properties. You will be receiving two documents, this one that you can see, which includes the questions that you will be answering. The second one, as you know by now, is the answers, which means that this is how your final document should look like. Okay, so I will not be answering question by question like my last video because most of these steps here are just simply changing the font, changing the size, using bold text. So I won't be answering these. But you need to make sure that you read each and every step carefully and separately. Like, as you all know, the first step is open Microsoft Word application and open a new blank document. Save the document as task 3 table username on the folder that you created 2 weeks ago. So I will be giving you general tips for this task. Let's start by opening a new document. So a quick reminder of how to add a header or a footer. As you all know by now, a header is anything that is on top of the page, and a footer is anything on the bottom of the page. So if we double click on the bottom of the page, something called footer will appear. If I go up, I can notice that there's something called header. So for today's task, you were asked to insert your name and section. Okay, make sure that they are aligned where they are supposed to be, and to exit the header or footer, double click outside the box, double click. Okay, so using tables is very important for us in listing or um, researching or anything. So I will go to insert and table. If we press this arrow here, you can insert the table using these blocks, okay? Or you can go to insert table and specify the numbers of columns and rows that you want. So let's say I want 5 columns and I want 4 rows, and I will press OK. So you need to know that a column is everything are these, or let's say that the column is the vertical part of the table, as you can see, these are, and these are the horizontal part of the table, and they are called rows. Okay, so we have columns. I have here 5 columns and I have 4 rows. Okay, you should know that I can change the size of the columns and the rows to a specific number, not just like by dragging these lines. Okay, how can I do that? I need to right click inside the table, go to table properties, and I can change the row and the column however I want. I need, if I want to change the size of the row, I need to specify height to make sure that it's checked, and make it, let's say, 2. Notice how the row will change in size. Okay, and it only changed on the row that you are currently on. So these 3 rows, because you were not on them, they did not change. Okay, same thing goes for the column. If I want to change this column, right click, table properties, I go to column, and I pick the number I want. Let's say it's 3, and press OK. See how this specific column has changed. If you want to move around your table, you can go to this square and try to drag it as close as possible to the edge of the document. Okay, The second thing that we can learn is the ability to delete a row or a column. Let's say that after finishing my table, I decided that I do not want this column. I highlight it, right click, delete columns. Okay, and it was simply deleted. Same thing applies for the rows. I highlight the rows that I want to delete, right click, and delete cells. Now, here he will ask me, do I want my cells to shift left or up, or delete entire row or delete entire column? I will go for delete entire row, and simply it has been deleted. Okay, same thing also if I want to, let's say, merge two rows or two cells. What do I mean by merge? It means by joining these two parts, let's say, and removing this line. Let's say I want to join these two parts and removing the line. I will highlight these two only, right click, and merge cells. See? This line remains here because it was not included in the merge. However, the line on the top is deleted because I merged the two cells together. Okay, here we have also something called a border style. It means that you can change the style of your border. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see the difference. Okay, if I pick the border style, let's say this one is called single solid line, and I press on it, see how the border changes. If I want, maybe I can use the double solid lines. See how they are doubled now? And remember that you need to do that, repeat it for all of the lines, not just one. Okay, very good. Another thing that you should learn, that table tools that we have here includes also shading. Let's say I have something important here written. I will just write my name, and I will just ASGBSA, and I will type 2020. Let's say I want to highlight this row as it's very important. I will just select it and go to shading and pick any color that I want, and it will shade. So let's pick this shade of yellow, and now it's highlighted. Keep in mind that any kind of text inside the document, I can change it into bold. If I highlight it, of course, it needs to be highlighted. It will be bold. I can change the size. I can change the font. I can change the color. Okay. So, and I'm pretty sure that you are familiar with these tools. Let's go back to the table tools. Here you can change as well the thickness of your borderline, the style, okay, and how thick you want the line to be, okay. So I believe that this is it. Let me just go back real quick to the questions that we have. I will read them really quick with you. Edit the font style. I'm very sure that you are familiar with it. Place the insertion point cursor to the left and start a new paragraph. When I say place the insertion point, it means that this is the insertion point. So I want to start a document here. I will insert it here. See how the cursor, this line appears? So this is what I mean by place the insertion point. Change font size, no problem with that. We have a very easy step here. Insert table with 5 rows and 4 columns, done that. Okay, center the content. Again, we can manipulate the text that we have here however we like. So if I want to center these words, I can simply just center them, and don't forget, of course, to highlight your words or your text. Now it's centered. Um, Format the text, change the font, no problem with that. Format the heading to be bold and red, decrease the width. Here we are talking about the size. Okay, remember that you can change the size of the column or the row by simply clicking on it, right click and table properties. Here we can change from the rows and the columns. Okay, let's go back. Increase the height, no problem. Change table border style, done that. Insert column. Okay, so let's say that when I'm done with this, I notice that I would like to add another column here. Let me just change the size real quick of these two. Okay, so after I finished my table, I decided that I want to add another column here. Okay, I want to add a few more points that I need another column. So I will highlight this column, right click, and I will ask insert, and here it will give me the option. Do you want to insert columns to the left or do you want to insert columns to the right? So I want this column to be on the left, and as you can see, an identical empty column was inserted to the left. And of course, you can insert it whether you want it on the left side or on the right side. Going back to our questions, change table border size. Okay, insert column, no problem. I guess this is it. We learned how to merge, to insert, to delete, shade, and all is good. Just I will remind you with this hint. Okay, if you want to insert an image, okay, let's say I want to insert stable an image from here. I will go to my local C drive. I will go here and I will insert this image. Let's say if I want to change the size of this image, I go to this box, okay, and I will uncheck the lock aspect ratio, and then I can change the height and the width from here. Okay, so I guess this is it for this task. It's very easy once you work step by step. Uh, Keep looking at the answers that you have to make sure that the final outcome looks like this. Thank you very much.